What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, Teofimo Lopez has completely lost his damn mind. But listen, what I'm about to say, everybody's already aware of. Sometimes you just look at things a certain way, and people start to think, you know what? That's true. I've just been overlooking these things that's been happening. So, Teofimo Lopez basically had this big rant. He went on talking about how this is going to be his last fight on ESPN, coming up with Josh Taylor. And he's going on and on. And in this particular video, I'm not even going to play this shit because I have to find where it is. And I don't want to have to pull somebody else's channel up that, go through all of that. But he basically went on to say these words that have people buzzing right now, which was ESPN, they want these black fighters, they can keep these black fighters. They can have them. So, now, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's what he says, right? So, before I even respond to that, let me go back. And I'm going to show you guys why. See, people feel uncomfortable with opening up and just trusting people as a whole. Teofimo Lopez, you're not a black man. I am. Your skin color had nothing to do with me picking you to beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko's skin color had nothing to do with me picking him to lose. I felt you had enough talent to beat him. I felt like when I watched the things that you were doing that, yeah, this kid could fight. And I like what he's doing more so than Lomachenko. People was going, Aries, come on, seriously? You really think he gonna beat Lomachenko? I said, listen, we'll see come fight night. But I think he has what it takes to beat him. I'm not one of those, I guarantee you this is gonna happen, that's gonna happen. Okay? Come fight night, you showed up, you won the fight. You sat there, you gave this heartfelt speech about how the best is going to fight the best now. In this generation, you're going to be the one to lead it. And people applauded you for that. Well, you didn't do that. In fact, you showed us a whole lot of things. That one, you're self-centered. Two, you exaggerate. Three, you lie. Now, four, we know you racist as fuck. Now, this is what Teofimo Lopez did. After he said those words, he started doing interviews and he just went into this cocky mode. Okay? Sitting there, always talking about who's who, who's what, rating fighters. Then he goes on to say Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, all those guys have to fight each other to prove that they belong in the ring with him. Leonard wanted to fight Hagler. Hagler wanted to fight Leonard. Leonard wanted to fight Hearns. Hearns wanted to fight Leonard. Leonard wanted to fight Duran. Duran wanted to fight Leonard. Duran wanted to fight Hearns. Hearns wanted to fight Duran. Hearns wanted to fight Hagler. Hagler wanted to fight Hearns. Okay? Duran, Hagler, Duran, all that. It just goes on. That's what made that era special because all of the top four fought each other. Instead of you wanting to be able to say, win, lose, or draw, I fought the best of my era in my division. You start playing this cocky game. Well, if you guys remember, Teofimo sat there and said, when the George Kambosos fight came about, George Kambosos, believe it or not, has a better resume than all of those guys, and he's a better fighter than they are. He's more dangerous. This is going to be a harder test fighting him than fighting those guys. But blah, blah, blah. Then he claimed he was fighting Ryan Garcia. The fight was on, the fight was off. There was never any negotiations, though. But both of them did the same thing. Then he started narrowing shit down to where he was no longer talking about Ryan. He never mentioned Raleigh as an opponent. He just basically found his way into trying to like verbally bash Haney, Tank. You know, and I'm listening to the guy talk and I'm watching his actions. Okay. It wasn't adding up. They weren't adding up, right? Then what he did, he took photos, did a photo shoot, was doing like some little videos with next to Canelo. His dad's talking about that's going to be the ultimate fight when the two of them fight one day and all this nonsense. And I'm looking at this dude like, wow. First off, see, they gassed your head up too much. Your resume is not comparable to Canelo's. You can't even, you have done nothing. You've done one really big thing your whole professional career, and that was beat Loma. That's an accomplishment. Yeah, you are a talented fighter. But your head got real swole. Your dad's already talking about you fighting Canelo, but he don't have that same energy about you fighting the guys in your division. So now his head gets all swollen, but then he gets his ass kicked by Kambosos. Now, it's funny how when he was asked about Devin Haney, when he was asked about Tank, there's always this attitude, this anger thing with him, right? He ended up saying this whole thing was set up for Devin to win. And they asked how. He says, come on, man. You know, they set this up for him to win. And they robbed me. This was all part of their plan. They who? Right? All these conspiracy theories in his head. Well, what I find funny is what you're admitting without realizing it is, you know Devin Haney was better than Kambosos. And he did something that you couldn't do. He beat him. And not once but twice. You didn't even exercise a rematch clause. You went up to 140. Okay. Before you did that, and I have to reiterate, I've talked about this before. Okay, but you give me reason to reiterate because I have something else to say to your punk ass too. But what he did, he sat there and said they robbed him in that Kambosos fight. Why? Because the zone already knew what I was about to do. I was about to drop the belts and go to 140. Do you guys remember before that? Okay? And those who've been with me know. We've talked about this. But he said to Devin Haney's dad and shook his hand. He promised, he gave him his word right there. Devin Haney's next. Never happened. His father shook the hand of Bob Arum and promised Bob Arum it's going to be Teofimo versus Lomachenko next. Which means if the zone knew what was up, that you was about to drop the belts and go to 140, you lied the whole time. You never had intentions on fighting either one of those guys. That disgusted me as far as you as a man and as a fighter, because I looked at you like, damn, now it's never personal with me. It's your career, your life, not mine. But I give the boxing news. But as someone who sat there and watched you and basically believed in your skill set, not realizing you only had one nut instead of two. But what you do is you go to 140 and you claim you and Josh Taylor are going to get it on first. And your dad said, yo, go up there, have one or two, warm-up fights. And then, get used to the weight, which I don't understand because you said you feel stronger. It's more natural and you're going to be way better at 140. So why you got to test the waters, right? Well, you go up there, you fight two guys that you were basically meant to destroy. That's what those two opponents, and I don't think people understand this. Those two opponents that he had was not picked because they're gonna give him a tough fight. Nah, this is gonna be an easy night for him. That's what it was meant for, okay? And basically, he didn't go in there and do anything spectacular. And it's funny how certain fighters get babied. They always, oh, but he dared to be great by what? Moving up to 140? What's funny is Tank didn't go to 140 to stay. He went up there to fight for a title, and he won. You did nothing but come up and fight two meatballs. See, regardless, you found out that your star power is not as big as your ego. And it hurts you, it bothers you, it makes you feel some kind of way. So who are you blaming? Well, he particularly named Tim Bradley and Andre Ward, took shots at them. Now, Andre Ward and Tim Bradley a lot of times say stuff, and I look at them like, yo, what the hell are these guys talking about? They say things that I feel like they're told to say. And one thing, too, when you're mic'd up, they get things said in their ear that we don't know that they're being told. Because a lot of times when they talk, I can't take Andre Ward and I can't take Tim Bradley. And I can't take Max Kellerman. And certain other boxing personalities, okay? But it's about what people do, their character. He made it a race thing. You don't even fight black fighters. In fact, since you're so racist and you sitting up here bitching about black fighters, well, why didn't you go and take Devin Haney up on his word? Like you said, when he got in your face, man, I'm tired of this guy, man. He said, show me you tired of me. Show me you tired of me and fight me. What did you say? Sign the contract. And what did he say to you? What contract? What contract? Right? He wanted to fight. You had people going, oh, Devin Haney and his dad capping. They don't want to fight. They just making noise. And I said, yeah, these Teofimo Lopez fans are really ignorant. The one man that's trying to fight everybody is really just capping. And isn't it ironic that you ended up allowing, which is something that I did not respect about Teofimo Lopez, you allowing people to call you the undisputed champion. No. See, little man, you are a part of the 4-belt era, not 3. And I don't care what Max Kellerman or whoever said. They can nut ride and nut hug you all they want. Oh, as far as I'm concerned, you are undisputed. Why? Because he beat Lomachenko. Well, Lomachenko wasn't undisputed either. See? And Max Kellerman is riding that wave of, well, this is the way people think now, so let me go along with that narrative. Nah. That BS franchise nonsense does not make you shit. Okay? But Mauricio Suleiman's lead puppet in whatever weight class you are in. That's all that makes you. And if you notice, every weight class don't have that franchise championship. Why is that? We know what that title is designed for. But you see, every horse isn't a thoroughbred. Because what a thoroughbred would have said was, nah, I'm not undisputed. I have to beat Devin Haney to become undisputed. No, you wanted to act like his belt didn't matter. Because you had some bullshit invisible belt called franchise. And that's supposed to, or Ring Magazine or whatever. I don't care about none of that. That makes you undisputed? No, homie. Without all that other shit, it don't matter whether you have them or not. Lineal, Ring Magazine, whatever. No. You need the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, and the WBC. In this era, okay, to be undisputed. But you would rather have Max, your fan base, or anybody else just think that, oh, yeah, that WBC belt that Haney has doesn't mean anything. Right. And like I was saying, isn't it ironic how Devin Haney became what you failed to become? And that's undisputed. And you got your shot and got your ass whooped on your very first title defense. Now, if we're going to pick and choose who we like as fighters based on where they're from, this is one of the things that for me I don't understand, but it caused issues with other people as well. Because see, this is what happens. I remember Muhammad Ali made a comment. He made using an analogy, okay, and he came up in an extremely racist time as well, especially being over in the South, okay. He was saying one of the scary parts about racism is this, okay. And if you're not from here, if you're not aware of those times, shut the fuck up, because if you don't know what you're talking about, then don't talk. But he made this analogy of, look, let's say you got like 1 million white people, okay? And then they're all racist. But you got like 1,000 white people out of that million that they know, like, he feels comfortable that this person really is a good person I can consider a friend. Now, with that million blended in with that 1,000 blended in with all of the other millions, and they all come in the door trying to get you. Now, would I be safer to just close the door and don't let none of them in? Or basically leave the door open and hope and pray that those 1,000 can somehow help defend and protect me from the ones that want to see me dead? That is a great analogy. And this is what you see. See, you basically had people believing in you and supporting your career as a fighter. But basically, see, you one of those people that, this is why I get turned off when everybody got to wave their flag and talk about fighters and big them up because of where they from. And you listen to them talk and realize they have no boxing knowledge. They're just talking countryman bullshit. So what happens is, if your countrymen lose, you feel some kind of way and you want to start trying to assassinate the other fighter, verbally talking all types of shit. Like I said, when Clarissa Shields, opens her mouth to say anything, and I read comments, this big mouth American, oh, she talked too fucking much, blah, blah, blah. But meanwhile, somebody like Tyson Fury, who talks nothing but rubbish, somebody like Conor McGregor, Mike Perry, yeah, all these other guys, it's okay. It's just perfectly fine. It's just them being them. Right? Yeah. I know where that comes from. You hear me do videos. And whereas, for example, I can point out things about Adrian Broner that he shows us, other people are making excuses for him. Do you ever hear me sit and make excuses for him? Do you hear me make excuses for any fighter? So here, me being a black man, I got dumb, ignorant black folks who get upset with me, which I can care less because I'm speaking the truth. We're grown-ass men. We're accountable for what we do. It's not somebody else's fault because you do what you do. I grew up in a rough fucking neighborhood where people was getting killed on a regular basis. I made a conscious decision to do some positive things with my life and not go that route. And the only thing I've ever been guilty of is breaking my foot off in people's asses. I ain't never been bitched or punked by nobody. But I ain't the one out there selling drugs, robbing people, running around with some gangbanging motherfuckers or whatever. No, I have beef with gangbangers. I'm still here. See, so for me, when I look at somebody and say, we grew up in the same piece of shit neighborhood, but I went a different direction. You had the same things I had in your home, and my, bottom line. In terms of having two parents in the house, whatever. A lot of shit went, things happened. But we chose two different paths. Who you blaming for that shit? See, when you stand for something, people around you who don't seem to forget y'all from the same place. And then sometimes you gotta break your foot off in their ass and remind them, don't get me fucked up. I might not be a criminal, but I will beat that ass. Now, real simple. I'm not shocked by nothing that Teofimo said. In fact, if you think about it, him and his father have made plenty of videos in the past, Nigga, nigga this, nigga that, nigga, 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 nigga this, nigga that. I've always said this, and anybody that I know, they know how I feel about that word. They know how I feel about that expression and you claiming it. So my thing is this, right? Latinos don't usually, people don't feel no kind of way when they say nigga. My whole thing is, do you understand where that word comes from? The stupid answers, oh, but we're not saying nigger, we're saying nigga. I don't give a fuck, it comes from the same piece of shit. It's ignorance. I don't call my sons niggas. I wake up in the morning, I get them a pound, give them a hug, good morning, king. That's how we greet each other in this house. Ain't no niggas in here. Hold up. And that's why I make fun of you motherfuckers. Y'all nigga this, nigga. Yeah, I laugh at you motherfuckers. That's meant in a derogatory, demeaning way. That's not a good word. So, now let me put it to you like this. Nigga this, nigga that, nigga this, but then he ends up saying, if ESPN want black fighters, they can keep black fighters. Since when has ESPN been known for all of a sudden they're just harboring a bunch of black fighters? But, okay. Let me put it to you like this. If somebody call a Latino a spick, that's a degrading, derogatory word to use. So imagine if I'm sitting up here in front of a camera like, yeah, these spicks, man. Yeah, that spick could fight, but fuck that. That spick can't fuck with such and such. Spick this, spick that. Then all of a sudden I say, yo, if ESPN want to keep all these Latino fighters, they could have them. What makes that any different? See the one difference with that word? Latinos don't call themselves spicks. White Americans don't call themselves crackers, honkies, rednecks. Well, they do call themselves rednecks sometimes. But it's not meant to degrade themselves when they say it. Any other ethnicity of people don't use a word that's described to degrade them. For some stupid ass reason, black people love that word. And they love to own that word. I even heard Mike Tyson sitting there sound like a dumbass one fucking day on his show. And he had that kid, I forget his name. But he sitting up there talking about something, why you don't like that word? Like, oh, me, I'm a nigga. I want to be a nigga. Nigga. And I'm just sitting there looking like Mike is a grown ass 50 plus year old man acting like a fucking asshole. I said, maybe he been chewing them fucking mushrooms. And all I saw in the comment sections was, oh, Mike's in a different space. Mike looks happy. Yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. So nobody can do anything wrong anymore. Nobody can look at somebody and say, man, listen, you tripping right now. Why are you sitting up here promoting this type of dumb shit? If I was talking about Zili Zane, and I'm like, yeah, that chink could fight, but yeah, you know, chink this, chink that, yeah. Yo, he a fucking chink, man. You know, man, I ain't worried about no chink this, right? And then I say, yo, fuck it. I'm done with ESPN. If they want to keep all these Chinese motherfuckers, these chinks, they can do it. You don't think people going to backtrack? Yeah, man, he was always calling Zili Zhang a chink. Yeah, he was always calling Teofimo Lopez a spick. Yeah, he was always calling Paulie Malignaggi a cracker. Now I make that comment to follow up. And it's funny because I noticed when a few fighters made comments about I never let a white boy beat me, which I spoke against that shit when I was aware of it, right? But everybody let her bring that up. But you see how people nigga this, nigga that, nigga that, nigga this, nigga that, black this, black that, but it's okay. Now, doesn't bother me personally because I say fuck everybody. That's the one thing with me. I stand on my own too. Well, for you, Teofimo, you know, half a motherfucker, you basically lied to everybody. Your career isn't going the way you want it to. And you better really hope for your own sake that you really legitimately win this fight. Because if Josh Taylor beat the shit out of you, where else you gonna go? Where you gonna go? You gonna drop back down to 135? I doubt that. You gonna go up to 147? I doubt that. See, You made that comment if ESPN want to keep these black fighters, then they can have them. You ain't even fought no black fighters, man. And even if you feel some kind of way about Andre Ward and Tim Bradley, yeah, that's cool too. If you feel like they're biased or whatever, and I'm hearing shit about like you making comments about because they were saying that you was hurt when you got hit and all this kind of shit and saying whatever, okay, but you made it a race thing. You made it a race thing, regardless to what they said. You made it a race thing. So where you gonna go, Golden Boy? You gonna run an Oscar now? Where you gonna go? I don't care where you go. It's your business. It's a rhetorical question. Where you gonna go? But see, here's the thing. When people see that you burn bridges, people see that you a selfish, self-centered little spoiled ass brat. And if things don't go your way, you have these little temper tantrums and everything has to be your way. This is a business. Savannah Marshall just said the other day, she learned that boxing is a very cutthroat business. You better learn that. You ain't got no friends in this motherfucker, man. You can sit there and take shots at people and try to make this a Latino thing and want to make it like everybody's against you. I'm going to tell you something. Your dad is your dad, but your dad is toxic for fucking boxing. And he's not teaching you right. And I can see you, the apple don't fucking fall far from the motherfucking tree. That bullshit that came out of your mouth basically just exemplifies who the fuck you really are. It ain't no, oh, we all human, we say things we don't mean. No, I mean what the fuck I say, you little half a motherfucker. You did all of that and said all that because what? Because Devin Haney is shining and is what the fuck you never was and what you wanted to be. Shakur Stevenson, the next hot thing in boxing being talked about. Nobody's talking about you anymore. Huh? Tank Davis, yeah. It just so happens that the three top dogs right now at 135 just happen to be black, huh? So guys like Paulie Malignaggi, I'll tell you like this. You know, Lomachenko's the white boy that would have beat you. Yeah, right? And then all of a sudden, now, Devin Haney does what Paulie said he wouldn't do. Paulie was telling the world that Haney wasn't going to fight Loma. He was going to go to 140 and use that as an excuse to not fight him. See, and he got into it with his dad, and they wound up smoothing it out. But Devin was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not my dad. Fuck Paulie. I say the same thing. You motherfuckers who come with this race shit and always want to play race when nothing racial happened, when nothing racist happened, you're saying this shit, showing your true colors, but it's coming from a space of bitterness, underachievement, embarrassment. So all of what you said, what you fail to realize, and I've seen channel after channel after channel of black content creators that were supporting you in your career. And you make a fucking comment about black people, black fighters. They can keep all them. You, just like Camacho back in the day. I'll beat all them niggas. Yeah. See, we ain't had social media back then. But see, Hector Camacho, when he made that ignorant ass comment, yeah, people on the streets was not happy about that shit. And you, who claimed you're gonna do things different, you know different from nobody else. And your fucking career is dismal as fuck right now. Now, whether it happens or not is yet to be seen. But just for being ignorant, I hope Josh Taylor beat the fucking shit out you. I hope he fuck you all the way up. Bad. Now, I said I would keep Adrian Broner far away from Josh Taylor. Because Josh Taylor, the dude can fight. And I don't see Adrian beating him. Had black people telling me, oh man, Josh Taylor ain't shit. Adrian to do this, Adrian to do that. And look at what Adrian's been doing with himself, right? So you hear me speak about everybody. I don't even like Tyson Fury as a fighter. I acknowledge that the guy can hold his own. But I was accused of taking Tyson Fury's side, going against my own black people, because Deontay Wilder was telling bullshit stories that just didn't add up. So you check my history, I have never been on that race shit. I've always been about boxing. But when I'm aware of shit and I feel the need to speak on some shit, I will. So I don't bite my tongue for nobody, regardless to where they come from. So I'm not gonna disrespect anybody's culture because an asshole opens his mouth. But what came out of your mouth just shows you who you are. So nobody need to be shocked about it. Him and his dad both been on this bullshit for years. Both of them. And that's why that motherfucker suck right now. And by the way, I always liked Josh Taylor as a fighter. So it's not about me wanting him to beat your ass just because of what you just said. Nah. I've been done with Teofimo Lopez. Go back to my videos from a couple of months ago. Because Teofimo Lopez is a fucking liar. He's a ducker and he's full of shit. And now that he's a racist, well, that's just the fucking cherry on top. I've been done with that motherfucker. Now, giving boxing news is one thing. But I really don't give a fuck if he loses or win against whoever. But I just hope personally, for the sake of boxing and the people observing and listening, that when a motherfucker's a spoiled brat and want to pick and choose who they fight but talk like they better than everybody else, this is what they need. So if Josh Taylor has any fight where he comes in there and he's on his A game, I hope it's when he fights you. And I hope he beat the fuck out of you. Now let's see what it feels like when you have to try to crawl back across a bridge that you done burned. Get to that motherfucker just to realize that bridge is not there anymore because of you. Just saying. Now I'm good. After this video, I'm about to go ahead and do some ab work and, relax and then get on and do what I have to do. But I just wanted to get this video out because when I listened to this guy talk, I told you guys, and anybody know, all you gotta do is go in my archives. I've been done with this motherfucker for the longest. I have a lot of mixes in my family, and I have no problem with nobody because of their nationality or where they're from. So if I offend anybody because I'm speaking the truth, fuck you too. Because I'm not going to bite my tongue for no one. But what I'm saying, plain and simple, when people say all the shit they say, and this ain't just one time he said this shit. It's been throughout the years he's been doing this. Him and his father. Talk about how big of a fucking star his son is. How his son, how they gonna sell 2 million pay-per-views. All this shit that I remember him fucking saying. And all this shit, y'all niggas can't fuck with my son. And he talking all this shit. Who you talking about when you saying that? So again, anybody who nigga this, nigga that, think about whatever word that people use to discredit you and degrade you as a person to your nationality. So the next time you open your mouth to say nigga, think, why am I saying this word when I know where this word comes from? Because all y'all do is bitch and complain when a black dude beat the fuck out of a white dude and then say something about the dude being white. But everybody ignores all the fucking dirt that's being thrown at us. I don't make this a race thing. That's not what I created this channel for. It's just funny to me how I see shit and I realize nobody's really talking about that. But they talking about this shit. To this very day, I just roasted Bernard Hopkins' ass. And why? Because guess what? A black man just like me, who's a part of a fucking team called Golden Boy, and his punk ass wasn't there to support Ryan Garcia. Oscar punk ass wasn't there to support Ryan Garcia. Joe Goosen punk ass wasn't there to support Ryan Garcia. And I, a black man, made a video about that. So you can't pull that race bullshit with me like, oh, I'm just sticking up for some people just because they're black. No, you motherfuckers. All of you motherfuckers that do that. You're cowards. And y'all soft. And all y'all do is cry about shit that don't go your way. And then when something doesn't go your way, that's when the race shit starts to come on. And that's why I always said I love what's my man name? 168 pounder. I can't remember his fucking name right now. But his mentality of I'm not trying to be friends with nobody that's in my weight class. I train, I work my ass off, and I stay to Caleb Plank, and I stay to myself. I'm not trying to be out here shaking like all up in their face like we friends and stuff, and that bothers me. You know, because overall, you don't have no friends in this fucking business, man. So I always said that. I don't have a problem with Kayla. I don't know what the problem is. Even when Darrell, what I say, Darrell's making up shit to make it seem like there's some beef with Caleb. But what the fuck did Caleb do to him, right? Nothing that we know of. And he can't say nothing. He just calling him an asshole. Cause he an asshole. He an asshole. He an asshole. He don't talk to nobody and all this shit. What the fuck does that? Why would you care? You need a fucking hug or something? Isn't Darrell black just like me? So I'm a sellout because I'm speaking as a fucking man and not a fucking little ass, like some little ass boy or like some little nigga, right? He don't have to be friends. And that's how I look at it. I'm a heavyweight. And I'm like, I don't want to be friends with none of them motherfuckers. That's my whole thing. Why? When it comes down to it, look, for example, look at Tyson Fury and Joseph Parker. If Tyson Fury got in this space in his career where turning his back on Joseph Parker to pick a fight with him, if that would be something that would benefit him to make that shit happen, but even if it's him catching Joseph Parker off guard with it, you don't think Tyson Fury would do that shit? Sugar Ray Leonard did that shit to Marvin Hagler. Had Marvin Hagler at his house, Marv pouring his heart out at a party at Sugar Ray's house. Huh? And he told him he can't get the fights that he want, man. And it's frustrating. He was basically contemplating retiring because, like, what I'm gonna do? Like, you know, I don't want these small fights, and I don't know. I can't get the fights I want. And then Sugar Ray was talking to him and like consulting with him, and all of a sudden, without even telling Marv, goes public and live and announced that he is picking to fight Marvin Hagler in his very next fight. And he cut ties with Marv until that time, into the fight, and that's Marvin wasn't just mad because he lost the fight. It was like the whole he felt betrayed. You understand? You don't think Tyson Fury would do that? You think he's above doing that shit to Joseph Parker? Huh? So shit happens. So we gonna talk boxing. We talk boxing. I don't talk boxing and hold back because they black. I don't want to put them on blast. No, fuck that. Everybody can get it. Everybody. So for this little half a motherfucker, Teofimo Lopez, you can go fuck yourself, man. Because at the same time that you talking all that shit, guess what? As cutthroat as all these businesses are, motherfucker, you built a name with these companies. You didn't do it by yourself. You don't have a promotional company. You and your dad ain't do shit but ride the wave of another company. You built your skills. You was a good fighter. And I respected your skills, your talent in the ring. But you've been dismal as fuck lately. Your career ain't going the way you wanted to go. And I know that's what's going on. And it kills you. No, it's not you, Ryan, and Raleigh. That's probably what the three of y'all thought it was going to be. But at the same time, it's three black faces. And all the motherfuckers is popping and you're not. And that's basically what's fucking you up right now. And I know it comes down to them. Why? Tim Bradley, Andre Ward, retired. And not in your fucking weight class anyway. So it's more than just what they said. Because like you said, if ESPN want to keep black fighters, they can keep them. Ward and Bradley don't fight anymore. So who the fuck was you talking about? And you was never the king of 135. You was unified, not undisputed. The only king of 135 is Devin Haney. The most popping right now is Tank Davis. Okay? And Shakur Stevenson is right under him now. But at the same time, you don't see Aries waving the American flag around and running around and yeah, us Americans, us blacks, we good. No, I just give the boxing news. I don't trust hardly anybody. I don't give a fuck what nationality you are. Those who love me, I love them. Those who stand with me, I stand with them. Get some class about yourself. But like I said, your father's toxic for boxing. And if you don't wake the fuck up, you little half a motherfucker, you gonna be one of these people they doing a story about. The rise and fall of Teofimo Lopez. And again, Josh Taylor, salute. Beat the shit out this boy. It's hard to really deal with being, supportive of what somebody's doing just to find out that they're racist against you. Because if you got a problem with black fighters, you got a problem with me because I'm black too. So you don't be selective with, I like him, but not him. Not him. That's cool when it's a character and personality thing, not when it's a skin color thing. That's some punk shit to me. That's some coward shit to me. And of course, it's racist. So yeah, I just wanted to get this out. Let your little half a motherfucker ass know how I feel about you. So everybody else can play neutral. And maybe he didn't mean it. Like, no, motherfucker. He meant just what he said. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. If ESPN want to keep all these black fighters, they can have them. That's what you said, you little half a motherfucker. Now, I'm going to close this video and say, we as content creators, we need to keep it all boxing. Everybody going to have their little favorites and all that, cool. But when you sit up and you make videos and, you got some people that had, their nationality, their flag in the back, whatever, that's all, whatever. But if you can't call it down the middle and be be unbiased, then what's the purpose of your channel? Just to, salute your nationality? Everybody dog out 7-8 Sports. They dog out Dante's Boxing Nation. They dog out Blue Blood. They dog out Fanon. What's the other guy they dog out? Y'all know what I mean. We all refer to some of them as the alphabet boys. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Boxing Ego. They always talk about how these dudes is racist and all they do is care about black fighters and all this and this and this. You don't have to be black. But to hear somebody make a racist remark, you shouldn't support that. The same fucking way that you be offended if somebody says something racist towards your nationality, you should feel the same way. Because racism is racism. So don't let this little half a motherfucker walk around here thinking that he got somebody shook or intimidated. Or like his words mean something. All you doing is showing you a little soft, sensitive ass motherfucker. You're a diva. And if shit don't go your motherfucking way, you fall apart. We don't need no fucking punk ass fake apology from you. We don't want it from you. Yeah, we don't want it from you. Keep that shit. Stick it where the sun don't shine. And again, I hope Josh Taylor beat the fuck out of you. And for all the black folks that sit up supporting people's careers, see, there's a difference when you are a boxing fan, not a boxer fan. Y'all should all feel real stupid. I said the kid could fight, and I like what I saw him doing in the ring. But y'all know me. Win, lose, or draw, I feel nothing. I just observe the fight. Then I'm going to come and get a boxing news about it. Simple. Anyway, talk to me in the comment section about little half a motherfucker Lopez. Tell me what y'all think about him. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.